Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about how the media is flipping the script on Star Wars, Disney Star Wars, John Boyega, and now they're starting to sound like certain salty YouTubers.
Yep. The ones I called names.
Man babies.
That's right.
Alt-right trolls. Screen rants, alt-right. They're alt-right Yahtzees.
That's right. Because we're saying exactly what everybody else has been saying for a while now.
Good grief. All right, so we're going to talk about, just follow up with the John Boyega situation and talk about how all these media outlets are supporting John Boyega now and throwing shade at the Disney Star Wars sequel trilogy, but they spent years defending the sequel trilogy. And The Last Jedi in particular, and The Last Jedi is where things came off the rails for Finn.
Right.
That's where they sidelined Finn.
And, he talks about how he had to deal with so much racism and stuff, but all you ever heard about for the most part was Kelly Marie Tran.
Yeah.
Kelly Marie Tran, because don't you know it was about being sexist and racist because you didn't like women and misogynistic and all that. And so his complaints were buried then. But a lot of people were said the same thing we did, which was, him being a stormtrooper turned Jedi would be a really, really interesting story. And we felt that they kind of shortchanged Finn. And then The Last Jedi, they turned around and kind of made him, less than, he went from being a hero who wielded a lightsaber against a dark Sith getting hurt to being somebody who's going to run away for no reason whatsoever. I mean, it wasn't very nice to the character, and everybody was pissed about it.
They were. They actually kind of devolved him. Yeah, he actually had an arc in the first movie, and he made up his mind about which side he was on, and he was trying to fight Kylo Ren, and then he gets his ass knocked into a coma, and when he wakes up, he's a coward again, and isn't it funny he's running around in a bubble suit,
right,
trying to run away.
And isn't it great that Rose Tico was there to show him that he needs to come back, and when he tried to make the ultimate sacrifice, she stopped him from that too, because she could.
Well, let me just address this real quick. I have to wonder, being the cynic that I am, and in regards to this situation, because a lot of people feel that Finn was maybe downplayed because of Disney's insistence that Star Wars blew up in China. Okay.
Or the Force is female.
It is curious. It's curious that they paired Finn up with an Asian woman, almost like they wanted to soften the blow for Chinese audiences.
Really? Here's the thing that gets me. It never did well in China.
Cynical.
It never did well in China. So if that was the case, and then the fact we know that they took him and made him really small on the poster for China,
yeah, they did.
And all that crap, and it's like, why were you pandering to China on this? Because it's never been popular in China that much. So what difference does it make if you made him a more of a main character or not?
I think they. I'm just looking at it. Speaking of China, I'm like, they have to explain this. They have to explain why the original voice actress from Mulan is
They just people probably didn't know why she was the original voice actor. Oh, who knows?
Look, she's from S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, why is she in there?
Because
she was the original Mulan.
Oh my God.
Anyway, yeah, go ahead. What were you saying?
No, I was gonna say that the Force Awakens did okay-ish in China, and Rogue One actually did pretty okay, but of course, they had Donnie Yen in it.
Yeah.
So of course,
I like him a lot.
Yeah, he was one of the best parts of the movie.
I would watch a whole show of him.
But then The Last Jedi came out, and it did horrible. It did horrible in China, and over here in the States, it did good the first weekend until people realized it was a shit
It did
show.
okay for a couple weeks, and then it fell off a cliff, and they're just like, look how much money it made, and it's like, yeah, until word of mouth got out, and then it fell off a cliff.
And then Rise of Skywalker, they just didn't give a shit. At that point, they're just like, bring Palpatine back, walk back some of the stuff we did in The Last Jedi, and Finn gets an even smaller part. He's just a goofy-ass sidekick.
Well, he likes Rey, and she doesn't choose him, and all that crap, I guess. I never watch it, because I don't know, but I'm just mad.
Yeah, I was going to say Rise of Skywalker, we still haven't watched it.
Well, yeah, we still haven't watched it. I'm just mad because I was like, okay, him being a stormtrooper and him, defecting and and he could wield a lightsaber. So I'm like, well, this could be something really cool. And I was really into the idea, and I was thinking, okay, I understand why you had to do A New Hope all over again for the first one, because you're trying to get audiences back and move forward. I get it. So I was all forgiving of that stuff, even though it drove me nuts. And I thought, okay, we're going to get a lot of cool stuff on The Last Jedi. And then we got The Last Jedi. And I was like, what? Why is Finn a coward now running away? And, okay, he's going to sacrifice himself to save everyone, but she doesn't even let him have that moment.
So let's talk about these articles, because they're saying a lot of the same things that channels like ours have been saying for years.
And they got called names and picked on for.
We got called names by, not us specifically, but any YouTuber that didn't agree that The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker were the bestest movies ever made by Screen Rant. You know, just a bunch of trolls. A bunch of trolls hate The Last Jedi. A bunch of trolls. Don't listen to them. They're just a bunch of trolls. But now we have today, present year. John Boyega is right. The Star Wars sequel trilogy failed him. And they talk about how Finn, it was teased that he had a greater importance.
Yes.
And then they didn't use him.
Yes! Which is
Fuck
what we've
you,
all
Screen
been
Rant.
saying!
Fuck you, Screen Rant. You guys were attacking YouTubers and fans for years.
And then they're going to turn tail and change your story now, and they're going to still spin it that they're the good guys against racism and hatred, and everybody who doesn't like who you have said the opposite for all these years, they're the true haters, because they always are, no matter what.
Now, I don't know if this writer was throwing shade at Star Wars fans or not, but these are a lot of complaints that the quote-unquote fandom menace has had for years. We've talked about it at length. We said that they actually not only ruined with The Last Jedi, not only managed to ruin the original trilogy characters, but they also ruined the characters that were introduced in the movie directly before it.
Right. Biggest
Offense, I think, was Finn, because it was set up that Finn was going to have a much bigger role, and then he had the rug yanked out from underneath him.
But and they didn't, and like with the original trilogy, one of the things that made it work was you had the core team, and they did their own little missions, but they were always the core team. And this one, they had that a little bit. They were starting it. It seemed like they were setting it up in the first one, and then we realized that was never going to happen. And then they realized that was a mistake, but by Rise of Skywalker tried to slam it together when it was already too little, too late.
Yeah. It was a waste. I mean, again, this is the failure of Lucasfilm. This is a failure of Kathleen Kennedy.
It's all the fans, because they controlled everything.
Fans' faults. They didn't have their shit together. They didn't know what to do with Finn. From day one. Like, here's his story. We're introducing a character with ties to the First Order, the Empire, whatever the hell bad guy group they've got in this trilogy, and we don't have a storyline, we don't have a roadmap for this character. What the hell?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. I think there was, but like, and it's funny because forever people kept saying that Rian Johnson just did his own thing, and there was no overreaching plan. There was no, if you're going to do a trilogy arc, you make sure you have this is the point of this one, this is the point of this one, this is the theming of this one, this is here's how it's going to begin, here's how it's going to end, here's the big movement in the middle towards the ending. It's always planned out. The main plot points should be planned. Clearly, it wasn't, and they kept trying to argue. No, it was. You're wrong. You're wrong. And then they saw Rise of Skywalker, and they're like, oh shit, there is no plan for this. Rian Johnson literally just threw it all out the window and made it all up again, so you had to come back and redo everything at the end. And that's exactly what happened. And oh my god, how much shit do people get for saying that?
Yeah. By news outlets like Screen Rant. And now you want to come back and try to win over the fandom. Now, after you spent years attacking us for saying basically the same thing.
Right.
So yeah, fuck you. That's my feeling.
Tell me how you really feel.
Yeah, but it's not just Screen Rant. Wired. John Boyega was right.
Mm-hmm. Not the fandom menaces, right? The fans who didn't like what happened was right. No, John Boyega's right.
The Verge. Go read John Boyega's unfiltered interview about how Disney and Star Wars sidelined him.
Which we've all been saying.
What the hell? Years. At least 3-4 years you've been attacking Star Wars fans, and now because the trilogy's over and done with, now you're going to come out on the side of John Boyega.
Well, and that's because, like I said, racism is a soup du jour now, and so you got to use the hashtag and that push to get views.
So now what's going to happen, because they were using Kelly Marie Tran for years to attack the fandom, now it'll be like, just like how all those...
That was when misogyny was popular.
That's when misogyny was popular. Now it's going to be like, just how all those toxic Star Wars fans hated John Boyega and wished he wasn't in Star Wars at all.
They've already said that. They've already been saying that. And it's like, I'm sure there were people that were racist jerks who made comments. 100% sure. Just like I know there's people that were, misogynistic jerks who made, and jerkettes, who made comments about, that made comments that, women should ever lead Star Wars, which I have no problem with a woman leading Star Wars, just not the way they portrayed a woman leading Star Wars, because they made her it was a ridiculous Mary Sueism. It was, I don't care what you say, she was the bestest, she was the greatest right from day one. There's people who probably complained about that. I'm sure there were some bigoted comments made. But for the majority of people, what I saw, a lot of people were like, why are they doing this to Finn? I would love to watch a movie where Finn was training to be a Jedi. And a lot of people were like, I want to see Finn. Why don't we get to see Finn? Or even Poe having more story time. You don't see that much either. And everybody's like, why aren't we getting this? Why are we getting Rey and Kylo Ren, an abusive romance story?
Because they never actually did due diligence. They never actually looked into it. They just saw, they don't like Disney Star Wars. That's because they hate Asian women. They hate girl power.
They hate black people.
They hate black people. That's it.
They hate women.
Now I'm going to get my $5 for writing this article, by writing a hit piece on the
It can't
fans.
be because maybe there's good reasons to not like it, and choices that were made that were, not. It didn't feel like the original trilogy. They ruined the original cast. Luke Skywalker, what they did to him was absolute crap. It's just,
Yeah, it's so this is not genuine. I mean, where were they before? Why weren't they complaining about Finn in The Last Jedi? Because they didn't want to side with the alt-right Yahtzees. So now they're going to come out and be like, gosh, Finn sure did get a bum deal, didn't he? Mm-hmm. Well, fuck you guys.
That's kind of what he said too.
Yeah, well, just in general, like years we've had to put up with this bullshit from these websites, and constant attacks on the fans.
Yeah, first it was kind of retreated because misogyny was the go-to for the last couple of years. Well, now it's racism, and especially racism towards black people. So now that's the angle they're going to use, because that's what's going to get the clicks right now and cause division as much as possible.
And they're still going to come for the Star Wars fans. They're still going to come for, because these people who write for these nerd outlets, a lot of them, I'm going to be honest, I don't know specifically where these individual journalists are, but a lot of these outlets, they just seem very, very anti-fan. Mm-hmm. And I think
they're pro-fan as long as you agree with the choice. You're very far left and agree with the choices that the movies they like had made.
Yeah, they are more pro-click. Mm-hmm. And I think they know they get clicks when they attack
they're more
fans.
pro-bait.
Pro-bait.
Reprobate. One would say they were the master at bait.
They are masturbators. Sites like Screen Rant and Comic Book Resources and The Verge and all these other websites that probably won't be around in 5 years because they're not sustainable. They are masturbators.
That's right. When they think about their own opinions, they touch themselves.
Get wrecked.
Okay.
Use the Force. I'm going to wrap it up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, rants. Please click on the bell for notifications and go to clownfishtv.com to get browser notifications. We'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.